Now let's bring you the latest news update. Chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Professor Stephen Adai, has cited hypocrisy as a major factor hindering the fight against corruption in Ghana. Professor Adai called on Christians especially to be more proactive in efforts to rid the nation of the canker. He was speaking in Accra at the launch of the Unashamedly Ethical's global campaign to instill ethics, values and clean living at the workplace, in public office and in private lives of individuals. JoyNews PCA Nana Yaosafo was at the event and his report is read to you.
Indiscipline in the home, at work and within the public space continues to pose a problem to national development. Ghana ranks highly on countries in Africa most ridden with corruption, according to the World Population Review. As part of efforts to combat continuous violation of standards, the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International is piloting a new campaign on social integrity dubbed Unashamedly Ethical. The initiative, which is endorsed by government, seeks to challenge individuals, businesses and other entities to commit to values through a 10-point pledge. Speaking at the launch in Accra, Chairman of the National Development Planning Commission, Professor Stephen Adai, bemoaned the high rate of hypocrisy in fighting corruption in Ghana.
I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in the nation about corruption. It's amazing when the watchdog or the keepers themselves come out to be probably among the most corrupt. So what is really needed is a few committed people, especially Christians, who will dedicate their life to say that not only will we as individuals will not engage in corruption, but we will not allow other people to get away with corruption. Because at the end of the day, I always say that nobody ever steals government money alone. Always there will be other people who know or were kept quiet or decided not to act on it. And I believe that we must be unashamedly ethical, being willing not to do it ourselves, but when we see it being done, prepared to confront it.
Professor Adai also debunked claims of worsening corruption in the country, stating that it has always existed.
Corruption has been with us for a long time. It's not getting worse, but we are now seeing the cumulative effect of it. And I like it because then Ghanaians are becoming more sensitive and willing to speak against it.
The program was also attended by Reverend Dr. Joyce Ayi and former Chief Justice Georgina Wood, who launched the initiative.
God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit to declare the Unashamedly Ethical movement duly launched in Ghana.
Citizens can access the pledge on the internet on www.unashamedlyethical.com. PAC and Anaya Safo's report for JoyNews.
And we all know the main opposition NDC wrapped up their parliamentary primaries in the 157 constituencies across Ghana with some shocking casualties and interesting wins. Some new faces, including actor John Dumelo and former national organizer of the party, Kofi Adams, have won their bids to represent the NDC in their constituencies in the parliamentary election next year. JoyNews editor Fifi Kumson reports.
Apart from this, disturbances in a few constituencies, including Tema East, where a ballot paper was torn, the election was largely peaceful. But the stakes were high everywhere. The polls hard to call. It would all come down to the wire. In Ningo Pram, Sam Jata George won, but by a whisker. He beat his contender, Michael Tetekwiti, with a difference of only 7 votes.
I extend a hand of fellowship, and you've seen me exhibit it here, to my brother Michael. Together, the focus is to increase the margin of victory between myself and whoever the NPP will elect next month to 20,000 votes. The vision is to kick out the incompetent Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government and bring John Dramani Mahama to the Flagstaff House on the 7th of January 2021.
Mr. Kwete pledged his support for his rival in the election. Elsewhere, in Buem in the Volta region, Kofi Adams won. Former Deputy Trade Minister Ibrahim Mutala won the bid to represent the NDC in Tamale Central. Former Deputy Communications Minister Felix Kwachofosu won in the Abra Asebu Kwamankase constituency. Also, Jifa Ablagomashi will represent the NDC in Ketu South. Film actor John Domelo took the Ayawaso West Wogon seat. His supporters jubilated. In Medina, private legal practitioner Francis Xavier Sosu won. In Ablekuma South, Alfred Okovandapoy won. Dr. Zanetta Rollins retained the Klote Kole constituency ticket. But there were also shocking and sometimes expected losses. Kumbungu MP Ras Mubarak lost his seat. Also in Wild West, MP Yilechire lost. And in Adenta, gender activist Nana Oyeletha lost.
And we'll have some interesting discussions because we're dedicating a segment wholly for the candidates. And of course, we'll try and get some feedback on some of the commentaries that had been made by those who analyze politics, the subject of governance, etc. within our country. Make sure that you stay with us on that subject, but still on the NDC. In the Upper West region, newly elected parliamentary candidates for the party in the Wild West constituency, Superintendent retired Peter Lanchene Tobu, has stated his vision is to work to uplift the living standards of the people of the area through customized innovation in consultation with the relevant stakeholders. The Ghana Poverty Mapping Report for 2013, for example, shows that Wild West in the Upper West region has the highest poverty rate at the district level. He said if given the nod in 2020, he would work to change the lives of his constituents. Superintendent retired Peter Lanchene Tobu made the statement during an interaction with the media in WA, and JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafik Salam brings you to the report.
Not many thought Superintendent Peter Lanchene Tobu retired stood a chance of upstaging a political colossus in the person of Joseph Yilechire. Some thought it was going to be a close contest, even if the retired police officer was to win. The incumbent, Joseph Yilechire, was in his usual jovial mood in his interaction with the delegates when the poll started. Little did the four-time MP know that his campaign, and for that matter, his career as an MP for Wild West in the Upper West region, was on the shakiest ground. The former health minister, since 2004, had contested and comfortably won the Wild West constituency seat for the National Democratic Congress. However, Saturday's primary was a different ball game when he came against a man who had been in the Ghana Police Service for over 2 decades and served for Inspectors General of Police. The 51-year-old Peter Tobu, a political rookie, started nurturing the ambition to unseat the veteran about a decade ago. He retired from the Ghana Police Service in May and joined the political wagon of the NDC. Tobu polled 775 out of a voting population of 1,140, while the veteran managed 314 votes. This is a staggering coup against a man who got to the political limelight 36 years ago as the first Upper West Regional Secretary for the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC. Superintendent Peter Tobu was still in secondary school Form 1.
I am going to bring some level of innovative processes into local governance. What I'm saying is that I have a vision which is clear. My vision is to be able to enhance living standards of my people, give them a better everyday life through customized innovation in collaboration with relevant stakeholders. And I'm sure With time, you get to appreciate the fact that the passion to see my people get better is a passion that is real, it's a passion that is achievable, and it's a passion that, with the support of the people, you all will come to appreciate that there is a need for change.
Joseph Yile was not around for concessional speech. It seems the music has stopped for the man who is used to dancing traditional bina during public gatherings. There was defeat for another incumbent, the parliamentarian for Jerpa constituency, where two former bedfellows pitched their strength against each other. Incumbent Dr. Francis Bawanandakura came face to face with his former campaign strategist and district chief executive in the John Mahama administration, Cletu Sedu Dapala. Cletu's successful truncated Dr. Dakura's second-term bid by polling 429 votes against 296 polled by his former boss. 4 other contestants in the race did not do much. However, in the West Central constituency, there was a landslide victory for incumbent MP Dr. Rashid Pelpo. He went into the contest knowing well that the 3 other candidates standing against him have an equal chance of securing the sole ticket to represent the people of West Central on the ticket of the NDC. At the end of voting, sorting and collation, Dr. Pelpo polled 787 out of the 1,391 votes.
I'm going to work towards ensuring that the people of West Central, jobs are created for the people. I will inspire them to see themselves as great people as they have always been. I will inspire them to go into business, which has always been the tradition in West Central. People like to do business. I will inspire them to make sure they understand the politics of the nation so they can go into other areas of endeavor.
There were also wins for 36-year-old health administrator Anthony Suma and former Upper West Region Minister Bid Zeden in the Nodolokeleu and Laura constituencies respectively. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam.
Moving away from politics, scrap dealers at the Swame magazine Kumasi are calling on the Trade and Industry Ministry to either lift the ban on exportation of scraps or regulate pricing to protect them. They describe the current policy as discriminatory because it allows scraps to dictate prices at the expense of dealers whose survival is under threat. At a news conference in Kumasi, the Progressive Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana outlined some grievances militating against their business. Dana Sensu Mensah has more in this report.
The scrap dealership business is the bedrock of the steel industry in Ghana. Dealers say government ban on export in 2013 and attendant pricing inconsistencies have almost kicked the local scrap dealers out of business. Nasir Mohammed is secretary of the Progressive Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana.
Petition by the Progressive Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana, Kumasi, to government to, as a matter of urgency and fair trade policy, lift the ban on scrap exportation and resolve the regulation to end the inordinate regime of unfair and discriminatory trade practice against scrap dealers, threatening the collapse of our industry. The Progressive Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana, PRODA, an association of scraps dealership based in Kumasi and committed to championing the cause of scrap dealers in Ghana, have been compelled by extraordinary circumstances and barefaced violation of the dignity of labor and the highest exhibition of impunity and disregard of basic tenets of mutuality and consultative trade relationship aided by government policy. To channel this petition to government and appropriate stakeholders to review the discriminatory trade policy regime that has rendered the indigenous scrap industry non-competitive, threatening its very survival.
The group wants government's intervention to set the stage for effective partnership to ensure a globally competitive steel industry in Ghana.
We are by this petition serving notice through the High Office of the Ministry of Trade and Industry with a humble appeal to resolve this nagging issues to enable scrap dealers play our rightful role in support of the Ghanaian economy in terms of taxes and the creation of employment opportunities. And as a matter of urgency, lift the ban on scrap export to make the industry competitive.
Nana Asensu Mensah reporting.
And before we go, according to The Nation, a Nigeria-based newspaper, operatives of Nigeria's National Agency for Prohibition in Trafficking of Persons have arrested a man accused of being involved in kidnapping Ghanaian girls to Nigeria. According to the paper, the suspect, Chika Nnodim, is believed to be part of a cross-border criminal and kidnapping gang that has since been under the security watch list of the Nigerian and Ghanaian security authorities. Delivering a statement on behalf of the head of press and public relations of the agency, Victoria Ejampe, said Chika Nnodim and two other Nigerians, Samuel Udotuk Wills and John Uji, were alleged to have been involved in the kidnapping of 3 Ghanaian girls aged between 15 and 21 years. The case was reported to the agency by the Ghana High Commission based in Abuja in April 2019, alleging the kidnap of their citizens from Ghana to Nigeria. The agency collaborated with relevant law enforcement agencies within Nigeria and Ghana in the investigation. The suspect's arrest is said to have happened after painstaking investigations at various locations within Nigeria and Ghana. Well, that's it. As we wrap up the news for the morning, we have more news. We'll look at the front and center spreads of the back pages of the various dailies we have in the studio. We'll also bring you the latest sports headlines, and Benedictos will be here with the latest. Stay with us.